In every era of anime, there's one archetype that fans recognize instantly: the calm smiling monster. The man who hides world-ending power behind a lazy grin. The mentor who acts like he doesn't care, yet watches everything. The warrior who avoids violence because he knows exactly what he's capable of. Shunsui Kyōraku is one of the clearest expressions of this archetype. A captain who drinks sake, flirts, naps, jokes until the moment he can't. And when he finally decides to take things seriously, the entire tone of Bleach changes. But Shunsui isn't alone. Across anime, we see the same type of blueprint repeated. In Shanks, the cheerful pirate, whose presence alone stops wars. In Jiraiya, the wandering sage who hides heartbreak behind humor. In Satoru Gojo, the childish god whose jokes disappear the second real danger appears. Even in new-gen characters like Yami, Rengoku and Nanami, the archetype continues to evolve. This video is not about one character, but about the archetype they all share. A type of man who chooses peace, but becomes terrifying the moment peace is no longer an option. The Shunsui Kyōraku archetype begins with a simple contradiction. A man strong enough to win any fight, but wise enough to avoid every fight he can. Shunsui is the blueprint of what we call the dangerous pacifist. A warrior who understands violence so deeply that he rejects it instinctively. From his early days under Yamamoto's harsh training, Shunsui learned the truth most fighters never grasp. Power always demands a price. Every sword of the blade reshapes the world, leaves a scar, and steals a piece of the person wielding it. This is why Shunsui becomes the man he is: playful, gentle, seemingly irresponsible. It isn't apathy, it's restraint. This archetype echoes across anime. Jiraiya embodies it as the wandering sage who would rather write novels than draw blood. A man whose power could crush nations, but whose heart sought peace after witnessing the cycle of war. Shanks, meanwhile, carries the same quiet authority. A pirate who turns battlefields into negotiations simply by walking into them. His refusal to fight is not a weakness. It's a terrifying reminder that if he did, the consequences would reshape the world. And Gojo represents the modern evolution. A man so overwhelmingly strong that combat feels meaningless. A godlike force who cracks jokes not because he's childish, but because seriousness would expose how lonely his strength truly is. What unites all these characters is not just power, but their philosophy. They understand that true strength is not about killing an enemy. It is choosing not to kill them. They step back from violence because they grasp the cost more clearly than anyone else. And when these men finally do enter a battle, it is never for ego, glory, or dominance. It is because someone they care about is in danger or because the world leaves them no choice. One of the most recognizable traits of this archetype is the mask. The easy smile, the jokes, the playfulness that makes these men feel harmless. But this behavior isn't random. It's a survival mechanism, a shield, and sometimes even a form of self-punishment. The Shunsui archetype wears humor the way a soldier wears armor. Shunsui embodies this perfectly. To most people, he looks unserious, drinking sake during meetings, teasing his peers, pretending to nap during crisis. But underneath that charm is a man who has seen more death, loss, and political brutality than almost anyone in the Soul Society. His humor is deliberate. It keeps others at ease, distracts enemies, and prevents the people he loves from seeing the weight he carries. It's easier to laugh than to admit how much pain he hides. Gojo follows the same pattern. His goofy jokes, chaotic energy, and childish teasing makes him appear reckless. But these are coping mechanisms for a man isolated at the top. When you are the strongest, everyone becomes either a responsibility or a threat. His light-hearted behavior isn't immaturity. It's a mask protecting him from the loneliness of being a living weapon. Even Shanks fits the mold. His casual smiles and laid-back attitude allow him to control tension without drawing his sword. The jokes is always a prelude to diplomacy or a warning that things don't have to get violent. What makes this archetype compelling is that the humor is never real joy. It's protection, it's distance. It's the only way they can carry the burden of their strength without collapsing under it. Behind the calm smile of this type of archetype lies a truth they rarely say out loud. They've already experienced enough pain to last multiple lifetimes. Their aversion to violence isn't cowardice. They know exactly what war takes away because they felt that loss more personally than anyone else. For Shunsui, the sorrow begins with the Gojo 13 itself. He was raised under Yamamoto's ruthless doctrine, forged in an era when captains were executioners, not protectors. He watched friends die, watched Okitake slowly fade from loneliness, and saw the quiet tragedies that the soul society hides beneath its traditions. Every life lost weighed on him, and every battle left another unseen scar. His peaceful nature isn't personality, it's exhaustion. Jiraiya carries his sorrow like a ghost. He failed to save Yahiko, failed to rescue Nagato from despair, failed to prevent his own student from becoming the world's greatest threat. His life is a chain of second chances that never materialized. The reason Jiraiya avoids killing isn't because he's soft, it's because he knows how easily hatred can destroy a child's future. Gojo faces a different kind of burden. Being the strongest isolates him emotionally. He sees the world in slow motion. Watching friends crumble under pressure, he could lift effortlessly, but not without destabilizing the entire system around him. His sorrow is the loneliness of a god among mortals. Violence for him isn't thrilling. It's a reminder that no one can stand beside him. What makes the Shunsui archetype unforgettable isn't just the humor or the wisdom, it's the transformation. The moment when the smile fades, the jokes stop, and the man who tried so hard to avoid violence finally accepts that he must use it. This shift is one of the most iconic traits of this archetype. Let's take Shunsui for example. When he releases his Bankai, the entire atmosphere of Bleach changes. His voice lowers, the colors drain from the scene, and the playful captain becomes a grim storyteller dragging his enemy into a series of fatal acts. There's nothing flashy or explosive, only despair, inevitability, and the quiet brutality of a man who understands death too well. Shunsui doesn't fight to win, he fights to end things. Gojo's transformation is more visual, but carries the same spirit. The second he removes the blindfold, the world remembers why he doesn't fight seriously. The carefree teacher dissolves, replaced by a force of nature who fights with the cold detachment of someone who has already calculated every outcome. His domain expansion isn't power, it's inevitability. Shanks, meanwhile, almost never shows his true strength, and that's what makes few glimpses so terrifying. Stopping a Marine Admiral with a single strike, ending a war by simply walking in, intimidating pirates with pure presence. These moments prove that his refusal to fight was mercy, not weakness. Across enemy, the shift is the same. When the jokes stop, the world holds its breath. So why does the Shunsui Kyōraku archetype resonate so deeply across generations, across genres, and across anime fandoms? Well, because these characters present something rare: strength without arrogance, wisdom without superiority, and kindness without weakness. They are proof that a man can be gentle and still be unstoppable. That the strongest warrior is the one who would rather share a drink, crack a joke, or teach a lesson than draw his weapon. Shunsui, Jiraiya, Shanks, Gojo, Yami, Rengoku, each of them carries a quiet sadness, a hidden burden, and a responsibility they never asked for. They don't chase power, they don't flaunt their ability, they don't try to dominate the world around them. And that is exactly why the world listens when they finally speak. This archetype reminds us that true strength comes from restraint, compassion, and self-awareness.